So I was driving to work today and I realized that some of you don't know that we have stones in our ears. I don't know why I got so serious. This is one of my favorite science facts. Did you know that you have stones in your ears? You have stones in your ears. And those lovely little stones help you figure out gravity. The stones are called otoliths and they're one of my favorite things. So this is a human ear. Way over here, this is like the part of the ear that you can see, and then we go into the ear canal, which is the part you're not supposed to stab with a Q-tip, but we all do, and then you find the eardrum, and then you get to the inner ear. And then if you zoom in on the inner ear, we see this lovely structure. And whenever you're looking at this, most people focus on the cochlea, but we're going to talk about the utricule and the saccule. I'm not an ear scientist, I don't know how you say that. So the whole purpose of all of these little canals and the utricule and the saccule is to orient yourself. It's mostly for balance. It contains a bunch of little hairs that like figure out where we are in the world. But if you zoomed in on the utricule and the saccule, oh my god, I'm not going to figure out how to say those, but if you zoom in on them, you see these cute little structures. And these are pictures of them. They're called otoliths. Underneath the otolith, or like wrapped around the otolith, is like a hair. And these little guys are made up of calcium carbonate, which is basically limestone, and protein. So like, yeah, you have rocks in your ears. But Morgan, why in the world would we have rocks in our ears? Great question. So basically, these guys are sitting on top of a jello-like substance. So like, you know how whenever you wiggle jello, it wiggles? In your head, whenever you wiggle, this guy like wiggles back and forth. Or the one over here, like wherever you bounce up and down, is gonna bounce up and down with you. And that's one of the ways that your body knows how you're oriented in space. So like if the guys up here, if they're all leaning this way, then your body knows that your head at least is tilted that way. And if these guys, like they're normally like pointing down because we're oriented like straight up, if for some reason they're oriented upwards, then your body knows, oh, we're upside down. There are other ways that your body knows where it is in space through like different nerves and also using your eyes. But this is one of the ways that it figures that out. And what's really interesting about this is that like malfunctioning of the otoliths or of these little stones can cause a lot of dizziness. Now, why would that be? You know how like whenever you spin around a bunch for like a few seconds afterwards, it still feels like you're spinning? That's because you've taken this like lump of jello with these stones on top of it and jiggled it around a bunch. It's still gonna have some momentum. It's still going even though you stop. And so your body is sensing that you're still spinning even though you're not actually still spinning. And then like, you know, if you've ever been like a dancer or a cheerleader, you'll be taught that whenever you spin, you're supposed to stare at a particular point on the wall. That's to help your eyes focus as you're spinning. Because like I said, your eyes are another way that our body can tell like where we are in space. But if you didn't do that and you spin around real fast, your eyes are going to take a minute to focus. So even though you've stopped spinning, these little stones in your head are still jiggling and your eyes are having trouble focusing. And so your brain's processing it like you're still spinning. So there's your fun fact for the day. You have stones in your head.